Hello and welcome to Lorbeck Luxury Cars. I'm Harry and on this edition of the Friday Drive, I review this, our 2016 Porsche 911 GT3 RS. Now I'm quite excited to be back behind the wheel of a 991 GT3 RS, simply because this is my second favourite Porsche of all time, closely followed by the GT4 4-litre. And don't try and give me all this 930 or Carrera 3.2 G50 nonsense. These modern Porsches are proper cars and are actually enjoyable to be in, especially this. Under the boot lead is a naturally aspirated 4-litre flat 6 pumping out 368 kilowatts of power, getting this carbon fibre laden beast to 100 through the rear wheels only into 3.3 seconds. And you'll be hard pressed to miss the Martini Racing livery. The thing historically with 911s and why I've never been a particular fan of them is because the setup is just inherently wrong. Rear engine cars have a whole variety of issues which I'm not going to list right now. But this is very different. This feels like a mid-engine car, and even though we're not really exploring the limits of this car here, on the way here, when the tyres were cold, it does have a habit of sort of stepping out a bit. But it is so unbelievably controllable, and once you get some heat in the tyres, it is just so planted and so predictable. It gives you a huge amount of confidence to drive this thing fast. And compared to the 997 GT2 or GT3, this is just a totally different beast. Those cars, though great on the track, are terrifying on the road. They're just so unpredictable and they snap on you at a moment's notice. And in this car, you don't feel like you're going to go backwards into a tree and burst into flames and die. Very different and quite comforting, really. And with the factory retro Martini Racing livery, this example looks back on the golden era of Porsche racing, when in 1971, a Martini Racing Porsche 917 won the 24-hour Le Mans. Hence why we are having a speed limit imposed dawdle around Albert Park Lake. I know Porsche doesn't really have a lot to do with F1, so it seems a bit silly that we're here. I mean, Porsche's history really is with Le Mans. And this isn't Le Mans, mainly because it isn't in Le Mans. But that doesn't matter, you get the point anyway. But the overarching point I'm trying to make is this is where the 911 GT3 RS is mostly at home, on the track. But despite all of this, it's still a very comfortable and easy car to drive. The ride is very compliant, the visibility is excellent. These seats, despite the fact they're not particularly adjustable, are still comfortable, though very firm. And though it's not as quiet as a regular 911 because it's got thinner glass and I assume less sound deadening or something like that, it's still a very pleasant and easy place to be. I wouldn't go so far as to say it's practical, because that would be a bit of a lie. But it's not a stupid car. This is the kind of car you can drive to a track, whichever one you please, thrash it around, make everyone in their Lamborghinis and all of that look silly, and then go home, even if it was 1,000 k's away, no problem. It's that sort of car. And the funny thing is that, you know, these sorts of cars really aren't my jam, I have to be honest. But this 911 GT3 RS is probably my second favourite Porsche to drive. The only thing coming before it is the GT4, and I'm very keen to drive the GT4 RS once it does arrive on the shores, our shores. Go O, Ricardo O. Whatever that means. But anyway, I'm getting bored of driving around at 40 odd k's now, so let's get out of here and go somewhere where we can give this a bit of a squirt and let it sing a bit. And with features including front lift kit, sports exhaust, adjustable ride, roll cage, carbon fibre seats and interior trims, sports chrono pack, dynamic engine mounts, club sport package, and finished in the highly desirable special order GT Silver, this was the best available in Australia, but once again this pristine example with just 18,500 kilometres from new sold before it was advertised, so you'll have to be quicker next time. as you can see, we're right into our martini racing and Porsches. The usual things, Mum. So if you've got a luxury or exotic Porsche, get in touch with us today, or any sort of luxury or exotic car, because we are currently sourcing cars for our new Sydney showroom. So give us a bell on 1800-8-LAWBEC to discuss the options that are available to you today. Thanks, Mum, for the usual. I hate coffee. But anyway, we'll see you next week.